Hello. So to complete the Frederick Douglass summative writing assignment, what you're looking for is evidence that the author includes to try to prove his point. So we got a couple of standards up here. I can identify and explain how textual evidence supports what the author directly states, and I can use specific facts, examples, and details in literary informational text to support my analysis. Basically, you're looking for the evidence that Frederick Douglass chooses to put in his first chapter and explain why he would choose to tell those particular stories. So the task, Frederick Douglass wrote his autobiography as a sort of argument about slavery. We're going to look at the opening chapter in his argument and explain and examine the choices he made in the opening of his argument. We'll be looking at the stories he tells in the first chapter and reflecting on why he may have made these choices, as well as what those choices have to do with each other. So you're going to just go through this. This kind of walks you through. It's essentially an outline. So you just answer the questions, right? So the first is about who he's intending to write for, right? And so it's important who he's intending to reach, because his goal in this is to, through telling his own life story, convince people that slavery is bad and should be abolished. And so his intended audience is important. So in this argument, who is he choosing to write for? Then what I'm going to have you do is take a look at chapter 1. There's kind of 4 or 5 main stories depending on how you break them up. And what you're going to do is first you're going to write what the story is. So an example you could use for number 1, on the first page of his autobiography, it talks about how he does not know how old he is. And he says most horses have a better knowledge of what their age is than he has of himself. So you write down what the first story is about, and then you're going to give a powerful sentence from it. So you're going to choose, if you were going to choose a sentence or 2 which makes this incident seem as disturbing as possible, what would you pick? And then explain why he would choose to do that, right? So for instance, if it was the first one and it was talking about he doesn't know how old he is, you could find the quote about the horse, and then you could say that understanding your age and how old you are is among the most basic bits of information people have about themselves. And even if you had not had any direct experience with slavery, you could understand what it would feel like to not know how old you were, nor when you were born. So this is something that people could relate to even if they had not had any direct experience with slavery themselves. So with each of these incidents, you're just going to go through chapter 1, find the next story from chapter 1, write down a summary of what the story is about, give a powerful example sentence, and then in a short paragraph explain why he might have chosen to include this topic as the introduction to his text. So as with all writing assignments, you can do revisions for this. This will be submitted at turnitin.com, and then I will provide you feedback, and then you can work to improve your score. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please let me know.